Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Everyone at home, join us. Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim.
How good and how pleasant it is. We've all gathered, guess where? On Zoom again. Here we are with Cantor Sarah and me. I'm Rabbi Robert Silvers. Glad to have everybody here with us virtually for our Shabbat service. So Cantor Sarah, you know where I am?
You are in your house. You are at CBI in the courtyard. It's beautiful.
That's right. Guess where I am now?
You're on the beach.
I'm at the Dead Sea.
Oh, cool.
And guess where I am now?
Somewhere else.
I'm at the Kotel.
Wow.
So isn't that amazing? I can be in all these places.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want a tutorial on Zoom backgrounds, Rabbi Silvers, multi-talented, he will help you.
So it's so nice to have everybody with us. I wish I could see who's with us, but I can't. I bet Sarah can because she knows how to look at the YouTube channel, but I don't.
I see some people. Do you want me to do some shout outs? That would be a first.
So you know who's watching us? Our executive director, Steve Allen.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
And sometimes people text us, which is cute during the service. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Annette. Hi, Renee.
Wow.
I can see that you're in the chat, so that's cool. So you just got a shout out. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Wow. So it's our turn tonight to be on Zoom and share this Shabbat with you. So we're back to 7 p.m. Services on Friday nights, except for, of course, the first Friday of the month when we'll still be at 6:15 p.m. So I hope everybody, you didn't tune in too early because here we are 7 o'clock to be with you and share Shabbat with you. So thanks for joining in. And we're going to begin. Cantor Sarah has her Shabbos candles.
I do.
A lighter. And we're going to bring in this beautiful Shabbat by lighting candles. Okay.
Yeah, usually I stack them on books, and I just didn't have that many books over here right now. Oh, got to turn one of my fans off.
Fans on.
Too many fans. Okay, I'm just gonna be sweating. It's all right.
Candles are tilted like bleeding.
I know. Yeah, it's the magic of Zoom. Okay, here we go.
All right. See, we can fool around till Shabbos comes in. Then we have to be serious.
Oh, let me turn my other fan off for a second.
Okay. Technical difficult.
I know. It's just so hot in here. All right. Hallelujah. It's welcome in Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ציוונו להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Beautiful. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. And as Cantor Sarah kindled those candles, I hope within each and every one of you, throughout this service, we can kindle a bit of Shabbat spirit as well in this, the seventh day of rest. So I'm going to say Kiddush with everybody. So I have to hold my cup so it doesn't disappear in the background. So if you have a cup of wine with you, maybe you're watching the services while having a nice glass of wine. Mine is Manischewitz. So I'll raise this cup up in celebration of the Sabbath day. Vaychulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam v'yechal Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa v'yishpot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa v'yivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'yikadesh oto ki vo shabbat mikol melachto ki vo shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasod baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila l'nikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim, everybody.
L'chaim.
And you see, I've got my Eliyahu Hanavi, my Elijah the prophet cup, and there's kind of like a little depiction of the kotel like that's behind me. So there you go. L'chaim, everybody, to life, to the goodness of life, and to the blessings of life. So we are going to continue with Cantor Sarah as we join together in this Shabbat. And would be a nice thing on this Shabbat. So everybody write into the chat room Shabbat Shalom, and if we see who's right Shabbat Shalom and good wishes for the week ahead, we'll maybe share some of those. I can't share them, but Cantor.
Yeah, and I want to tell you, for those of you who are watching live, you can't write into the chat unless you're watching live. So if you're not watching live, next week, make sure that you watch live so that we can wish you Shabbat Shalom and that you can wish each other Shabbat Shalom. It's a really beautiful little community here, and I try to just glance over there if I can, but usually we're pretty busy just making sure all the tech works. But we're so appreciative of all of you that do come week in and week out and watch us live, because we can see that you're there, and we just it really makes us happy to see that.
Yeah. So she just told all of you to watch live next week. But
watch live.
You're watching live right now. You're watching right now.
Yeah.
So,
the people that come back and watch like during the week or later, because I can see that too. We do have quite a few of you, and we appreciate you too. So just watch us, and we really appreciate you. But live is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I'm watching you live.
You're watching, yeah, we're really live. You guys that are watching us on YouTube have like a 90-second delay. So if you tell me something isn't working, I'm not going to be able to fix it until
90 seconds later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So we're going to begin with Kabbalat Shabbat.
Yes.
Well, Kabbalat Shabbat are the welcoming psalms prior to the evening service, when we sing joyously of God who has given us this seventh day, the God who these psalms remind us is the creator of the universe, to whom all praise is due. So Cantor Sarah is going to begin from Psalm 95 with L'chu Neranena. That was beautiful. I wish I could be there to help turn your pages.
Thank you. I have a if you guys really like tech, this was the service for you to tune into. I have a pedal, but I like a pedal that turns the pages for you. It doesn't always work, so I'm always like turning the pages. Anyway, tech problems. It's good.
But you know what? You know who can solve these tech problems for us? Your two daughters.
Oh, I was gonna say my husband. He'll have to be my page turner.
If you're under the age of 10, you could really help us out greatly.
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. I think the rest of the songs tonight are one page. Hopefully.
All right, so we're in the Kabbalat Shabbat service. We're singing these beautiful psalms to God, and Cantor Sarah is going to continue from Psalm 96 now, which is Shir Adonai Shir Chadash. We're going to sing unto God a new song.
Sing with me
psalm in English because I'm so inspired by your singing these beautiful songs. I'm going to read for us from Psalm 29, a psalm of David. Ascribe to Adonai, O divine beings. Ascribe to Adonai glory and strength. Ascribe to Adonai the glory of God's name. Bow down to Adonai, majestic in holiness. The voice of Adonai is over the waters. The glory of God thunders. Adonai over the mighty waters. The voice of Adonai is power. The voice of Adonai is majesty. The voice of Adonai breaks cedars. Adonai shatters the cedars of Lebanon. God makes Lebanon skip like a calf, Syrian like a wild young ox. I wanted to read a psalm about oxes tonight, so there you go. So, you know, God created all the animals and he created the oxen, and those are one of the animals that our ancestors sacrificed in the wilderness as they went from place to place, traveling to the promised land. Sheep, goats, oxen, yeah. So, for what the heck, we'll share. All right, so now we're gonna sing one of my favorite songs. I love this song from Shabbat. It's traditionally sung in the house when you arrive after having gone to shul. And you get to walk into a home filled with love and your family and see a beautiful table set for Shabbat and realize that this is what life is all about. This is the blessings that surround us. A beautiful day of rest, surrounded by loved ones. I know it's a little harder now in this pandemic to be surrounded by your loved ones, but we are doing remarkable things with this technology and sharing these moments and these times with each other via Zoom. So though we can't put our arms about each other, know that in spirit, we're hugging you all, wishing you all good Shabbos as Cantor Sarah is going to continue with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Hakadosh Baruch Hu Borachem Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon.
Very nice. You know, sorry guys, I pushed a button that I shouldn't have pushed. That song reminds me of wonderful times when I was in Israel, as we were there with our students and our congregational members. And as we would walk to the Kotel on a Friday night, kind of looked like this. And I remember the golden glow of the beautiful city of Jerusalem as we walked the streets on the way to the Kotel. And as we walked on the way back to our hotel for Shabbat dinner, singing Shalom Aleichem, this is, I'm getting goosebumps right now. This is what I remember. And so wish and hope that all of you can experience sometime in your lives if you haven't already. Let's continue as Cantor Sarah will continue with the chanting of the Chatzikash.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash meraba Be'alma divra chirute Ve'yamlik malchute B'chayechon u'v'yomechon U'v'chayedecho b'et Yisrael Bagala U'v'zman kariv V'meru amen Yehi shmei rabba mevorach Le'olam me'amaya Yitzbarach v'yishtabach V'yitzba'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'kodesha barichu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'meru amen.
We are summoned to praise the Holy One of Blessing, and as we do, it's traditional to rise in our places, but even if you're at home and you're comfortable, let your soul rise up in praise as Cantor Sarah continues with the call to worship. The Baruch Hu. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv, Rabbi. Avat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta. Everlasting love. You, O God, have offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them. They are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
And Cantor Sarah is going to continue with Ve'ahavta. If you want to join along, you are welcome to do so. I will share the screen so you'll have the words, but I'm sure most of you know them pretty much by heart.
Ve'ahavta et את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
It's time for a journey. We think of the journey our ancestors made from slavery and bondage to ultimately freedom, redemption and freedom. So take a moment, close your eyes while you're listening to me and consider a beautiful journey that you might be able to take outside the confines of our homes where we are isolated in quarantine. Perhaps you can close your eyes for a moment and think about a journey to where your children live, walking into their homes and being with grandchildren, taking a journey to one of your best friends' homes where you might be able to celebrate the beauty of Shabbat together, sitting at a table. Journeys we can take through our spirit and our souls. Our souls, we are taught, actually travel. When we lie down at night, and shortly Cantor Sarah will sing a beautiful evening prayer of Hashkivedu, our souls go on journeys. So for us, it's not so hard for us to imagine taking a journey and being accompanied by people we care for, people that we love, people who support us, strengthen us, people who make us laugh. And I'm sure as our ancestors went out of Egypt, they needed that from their friends, from their companions, from their fellow Israelites. They relied on each other to help them through the journey throughout the wilderness and through the Sea of Reeds. There's a beautiful reading Rabbi Keller does now and again about the crossing of the sea and how people, you have to imagine, stomping away through the muck and the mire and lifting their feet out of the mud, and how difficult it was, and people holding on to each other and seeing fish and everything else in the sea and dolphins jumping out of the water, and he screams, "Yee!" I love when Rabbi Keller does that reading. But it's not so hard for us to imagine that the journey we're on right now, this journey through this pandemic, is difficult. It's hard. It's challenging. It's distressing. It gives us lots of anxiety. And we need the spiritual support from one another. It's hard for us to get the physical support if you live at home alone, that you don't have anybody there. But we are still all here for each other in this community we call Congregation B'nai Yisrael. So Sarah's going to sing this beautiful song our ancestors sang that exclaimed the might of God. And I think it's through God's good graces, through God's compassion and kindness, that we can overcome this feeling of anxiety, of depression, of loneliness, and find within our souls the thought and the very real memories of all of us when we're together and the love we indeed do share. Cantor Sarah is going to continue with Michamo.
Adonai Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Blessed God, the Redeemer of the people of Israel, redeem us too from this time, from this pandemic. Deliver us from this illness, this sickness. Deliver us from our solitude and our isolation. Redeem us all, O God. Let our spirits soar once again with the joy of sharing Shabbat with our friends and family. Together, that we might praise you. Amen. So, as I mentioned before, Cantor Sarah is going to chant for us this beautiful evening prayer. Clearly, I've said it over and over again. This is my favorite prayer of the evening service. I love it. Musically, it's beautiful. The words, the imagery of it is striking. That we are asking God to spread over us this tabernacle, this sukkah, this shelter, that we can feel safe and secure, especially when we lie down at night and the dark encompasses us. This is our chance to hold on to God in those moments that we know that God is protecting us, watching out for us, and wakening us in the morning by returning our souls. So Cantor Sarah is going to sing this very beautiful prayer that we call Hashkivenu.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu V'ha'amidenu shomrenu lechayim ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha hashkivenu Adonai Hashkivenu l'shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Thank you, Cantor, Sarah. Beautiful. Certainly, as I lie down tonight to go to sleep, I'll think of you singing this so I can lie down and feel good about it. I'll think about all my friends at the synagogue, that friendship will be there, and that God's love might accompany all of us into dreamland for tonight. We're going to continue with the Amidah. Again, this is traditionally said standing. Whether you choose to stand or not, let's lift up our hearts again as we praise God and celebrate the Shabbat. I know most of you know this by heart, but once again, I'll share the words so you can follow along and join in as well as Cantor Sarah begins with our Kavanah, our meditation prior to the prayer.
Adonai sifatei tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Koneh Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Beautiful. Before I offer you a few moments of silence, and I hope during that time, maybe Cantor Sarah can play a little underneath music so people can close their eyes and listen to the music as they pray. I'll offer this prayer. Let us praise Adonai, source of knowledge and light, from whom we draw wisdom and insight. Let us savor the fullness of each and every day and fill our souls with the treasures of Shabbat. And let us appreciate these distinctions: sacred from profane, charity from greed, purpose from drift. Let us affirm our covenant as God's people. Let us honor those who study Torah. Let us uphold the truth of ongoing revelation. Let us celebrate the glory of our tradition and draw refreshment from the well springs of prayer. Let us respect tradition and encourage creative faith. and let us dress ourselves in the garments of God, compassion for the needy, embrace of the stranger, and then let us spread the canopy of peace over all the world. Let's take a few moments in silence, and Cantor Sarah will play a little bit on her guitar. And close your eyes and think of all the blessings, despite the pandemic, that we all enjoy. In silence, let's continue.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Yehu leratzon imri fi והגיון ליבי לפניך Adonai suri v'goli. Adonai suri v'goli.
May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our heart be acceptable unto you, O God, our rock and our redeemer. Well, I want to share a few words and thoughts with you this evening. Utopias aren't always what they appear to be. Back in the heyday of the Soviet Union, I'm sure most of us my age certainly remember that, a Jewish man once visited the Great Zoo of Moscow. To his amazement, he found a lion and a lamb sleeping together in a cage. The man went to the zookeeper, a fellow Jew, a landsman, and said, "Comrade, this is amazing. The Messiah has come. How else can you get a lion and a lamb to lie down together in one cage, much like the prophecy of Isaiah?" Zookeeper looked at him and said to him, "Comrade, it's easy. We put a new lamb in the cage every day." Cantor is the only one I can see smiling and laughing. Judaism has been called a utopian religion because we dream of the coming of the Messiah, of a world without suffering and in which peace reigns supreme. The prophets waxed eloquent in describing such an ideal world. They imagined the lion lying down with the lamb. Unfortunately, too often we Jews have been the lamb when the lion was most hungry. Israel itself, the nation state of Israel, was founded on a utopian dream. Though we haven't quite arrived just yet, it's a work still in progress. Theodor Herzl said, "Im tirtzu ein zu Haggadah." If you will it, it is no dream. Israelis continue to hope and pray ultimately for peace. In fact, no nation has composed more songs about peace than Israel. But I'm sad to say that today's Torah portion, this Shabbat's Torah portion of Rabbi, suggests that utopias just don't really exist. In presenting the laws of tzedakah, of righteousness, of charity, if you will, we find a statement in this week's Torah portion that would appear to contradict our most sacred dreams and hopes for the future. Poverty, the Torah tells us, is a fact of life. Nothing is about to make it go away. While the Torah begins by expressing the hope in verse 4 of chapter 15 here in Deuteronomy that the day will come when there will be no destitute or poor among you, it goes on to conclude, "For the poor will not cease to exist within the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall surely open your hand to your brother, to your poor, to your destitute in the land." These two verses in chapter 15 of Deuteronomy appear to contradict each other. While one speaks of a time when society will be freed of poverty, the other suggests that such a time will in fact never occur. The Torah teaches there will always be hungry. There will always be people who are needy. So how do we in fact reconcile these two verses? It would appear that one verse represents the ideal, while the other reflects reality. We can dream all we want about the future, but that will not make the world a kinder or more compassionate place. When read this way, the Torah's statement, "the poor will not cease to exist with the land," is one of the most painful and disheartening verses in all of literature. Get over it, the Torah seems to be saying. There will always be poor people. So let me, if you will, suggest another way of reading these two verses. I'd like to suggest to you that these verses do not, in fact, contradict each other. Both can be true simultaneously. What they suggest is that even in an ideal world, there's going to be need. There will be times when some people will find themselves in difficult circumstances, say like in a pandemic. The word utopia does not mean that the nature of the universe will change. despite Isaiah's prediction that the lion will lie down with the lamb. It does suggest that utopia will arrive when we change, so that no matter what happens, human beings will, in fact, reach out to one another and help one another in difficult times, even through virtual means. The sages spoke of a world as a giant turning circle. There are times when we're on top of the world, and other times when the world seems to come crashing down upon us. A home is flooded, another catches fire, a business fails, we suffer through a hurricane, a pandemic spreads across the world, families are struck by catastrophic illness or, God forbid, even tragic death. These are simple but unfortunately painful facts of life. Bad stuff happens. We're all living in it right now. No utopia can protect us. We can't always avoid these facts of life. What we do have control over is how we choose to respond to the suffering. The power of compassion lies within our own hands. And what we do today may influence the way others respond tomorrow. It is said that Sir Moses Montefiore was once asked how much his great fortune totaled. The great philanthropist pulled out a ledger and after adding up the numbers announced, "I'm worth 20,000 pounds. Well, this was a considerable amount of money. The man realized that it was hardly Sir Moses's full fortune. "Surely, Sir Montefiore, you're worth more than that," the man said. "You're known to be one of the richest men in England." No, you misunderstand me," said Montefiore. "That's not how much money I have, but how much I'm worth. In this past year, I have given 20,000 pounds to charitable causes. I also own mines and properties and many other investments, but mines may flood, properties can burn, and the investments lose their value. The only thing I really have to my credit is the charitable donations I've given to others. They show others what I'm really worth." So when I imagine utopia, I imagine a world no different than the one we're experiencing right now, believe it or not. Sometimes the stock market will be up and other times it'll be down. We've seen it. There'll be periods of prosperity and there'll be times of famine and loss. There'll be times when we can be together physically and there's times where we will be, like today, in quarantine still and in isolation. There will be years of plenty and years of need. But in my utopia, what will be different is how we continue to live and even more importantly, what we continue to give. I wish we could make all suffering go away. We can't. But we do have the power to mitigate it. I remember reading somewhere that when the Messiah finally comes, we'll no longer need it. Because if we're living the kind of lives we should be living, then we ourselves will bring about the messianic times. Utopia, therefore, is not some distant hope. It's here right now. It's just waiting to happen. All it depends upon is you and me. So reach out to people you know are home and alone. Share a few minutes of your time via Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, or on the phone. Continue to drop off food donations at our synagogue, at the food pantries. There are so many things we can still do to mitigate what's happening out in our world. I pray that all of you have peace, shalom, and Shabbat shalom. Now, speaking of utopias and a better world, there are those who indeed are suffering mightily at this time. There are those who are ill because of the pandemic. There are those who are ill not because of the pandemic, but all of those who are suffering, whether physically or spiritually, need our compassion. They need our kindness. And yes, in fact, they need our prayers. Cantor Sarah will continue now with our Misha Berach, our prayer for those who are in need.
Misha comes before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
These are the members of our congregation whom we love. Deborah Benson, Alvin Yarkin, Charlotte Cameron, Richard Levine, Nicole McKevitt, Michelle Kingen, Karen Silver, Sheila Butler, Carol Porwich, Elliot Porwich, Chavalea Bat Esther, Rachel Glatt, Josh Bernstein, Margot Engel, David Schwartz, Casey Rosebayer, Marcia Schiller Silverstein, Elvira Chavez, Gary Bandel, Victoria Athis, Chana Rachel Bat Dvorah, Baruch Ben Penina, Shelby Caben, Thelma Fisher, Howard Kleinberg, Elliot Kleinberg, Anna Zagel, Naomi Kirstein, Lori Chazen Hurwitz, Michael Zoll, Ben Evans, Tammy Shestak Lipsky, Claire Weiss, Linda Freilich, Heshi Glatt, Richard Stransky, Shachar Karen, Alex Sanchez, Deborah Israel, Robert Scheinberg, Mordechai Yehuda Ben Itta, Tzvi Herschel Ben Gittel, Danielle Seltzer, Harvey Merenstein, Kathy Kaufman, Marlene Pollack, Gerald Goldberger, Norma Friel, Julie Miller, Ilsa Camus, Rana Young, Ken Tankus, Barton Weissman, Jacob Buttsy, Irene Albert, Sharon Schutzman, Trip Ravenfeld, Elizabeth Salman, Len Berkowitz, Bob Faley, Gloria Bernstein, Abraham Ben Shmuel Visara, and Barbara Winkler. May God continue to provide compassion and healing for them as Cantors.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
God restore all those who are ill, physically and spiritually, with health and with peace. Amen. We continue now with Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We're going to conclude shortly, first with Mourner's Kaddish, then Adon Olam. But I want to take this moment to thank Cantor Sarah for joining with me this evening to bring you Shabbat services. I've got an open window here in my room, so I see that the sun is setting and evening and twilight is upon us. And I pray that each and every new day might be a better day than the day before. Please join. I understand that the reception by everybody watching us on our YouTube channel has been so great this evening, Cantor Sarah, that we decided we would come back tomorrow morning.
Yes.
And do the 9 o'clock.
Exactly. So everyone come back. So tomorrow morning, in the morning, it's on Zoom.
Yes.
So it's such a great group. Love our 9 a.m. Torah study. So fun. It's like really like a family. I mean, we're all a family here at CBI, but if you haven't been and tried it out, like come. And it's on Zoom so we can see all of our faces. So it won't just be the two of us. You can see everybody, and it's.
And our Torah study will be interactive, so everybody can participate as well.
Yeah, and I want to tell Susie in the chat is asking where are my kids. It's bedtime. So if you want to see my kids, come to Torah study because they will be right here. This is where they usually are, right here.
Okay, look forward to it. Thank you all for joining us this evening on our YouTube channel and virtually with us. Through Cantor, Sarah's beautiful music, and knowing that there are people out there watching us and joining with us, it makes all the difference in the world to us in celebrating the Shabbat. So let's take a moment now as we recall now our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. Currently, the Shiva period is being observed for our member, Robert Weber, and the Shloshim period, the 30-day period for Sean Blanchard, Dr. Eugene Rosenberg, and Susan Hyman. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for blessing. Yortzites at this season for Herbert Edelman, Christina Angelitis, Jesse Bierman, Eunice Brown, Ernie Camus, Michael Cannon, Sadie Cohn, Renee Elderman, Grace Elkins, Irving Freifeld, Nancy Gewirtz, Rochelle Graber, Helen Kimmelman, Ann Klein, Morris Cruz, David Meltzer, Rose Nathan, Al Oken, Jack Olenek, Nathan Owitz, Augusta Polarstock, Molly Rosenthal, David Rubin, Annie Smith, Francis Stern, Janet Tesler, Jessica Wolfman, Nathan Zaruches, and Tilly Zolan. And to those names, we certainly remember all those who died during this pandemic. We pray again that soon it will come to an end when all of us will know only health and peace and blessing. For those who wish and those who want, we join together. For those who mourn and those who wish, we join together in our Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitgadash merabah, v'yalma divrach chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabah mevorach le'olam l'omei almaya, v'yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekucha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us, as we all say. Amen. Okay, we are going to go now to Adon Olam, and just in case, I'm going to put the words up for everybody so you can sing along and join along. So I'm going to do, whoops, that was a mistake. Oh boy, we're still doing this technical difficulty stuff. Okay, hold on. Gotta make sure I close the right thing. Here we go. And you can see Adon Olam, and Cantor Sarah's gonna chant it in one of my favorite melodies. It's a Sephardic melody. So, take it
Here we
away.
go. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leid Nasa V'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשיל לו להכבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, בצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת ישן ועירה, ועם רוחי יביאתי אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Adon Olam, eternal God, we thank you for the blessings of Shabbat, of creation, of all that exists in this marvelous, wonderful world that we can appreciate. The air we breathe, the oceans, the mountains, the sunlight. We thank you, O God, for all that exists. We thank you, O God, for giving us the gift of life. Help us, O God, to be your partners in this world, that we might extend this gift of life to those who are in need, those who suffer. Help us, O God, to share with them the wonderful blessings you have granted to us all. And then truly, we will make this world the place you have commanded us to make, a world at peace, a world that is repaired and healed, a world in which all humanity can live in brotherhood. Bruchim atem b'voechem. We are blessed in that we have come. Bruchim atem b'tzeichem. May you be blessed now as we go forward from this virtual gathering of the Lord. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.